TV breakfast show today, panelists called on government to take a second look into the handling of guns and ammunition by security officials.
Carrying live ammunition. Where were his plastic bullets? There's a great breakdown in a certain consideration for humanity in our society. There's the greed on one side, there's the thievery on the other, and watching the Public Accounts Committee, there's serious irresponsibility on another hand, and then lawlessness amongst certain elements of those who are are hired to help enforce.
On Wednesday, the Inspector General of Police, IGP, apologized to chief and people of Lamishegu over Sunday's incident in which one person died, at least 8 others got injured. The Director General in charge of administration, Mr. Christian Tete Yohanu, rendered the apology at a meeting with the Lamishegu chief. He also thanked the chief for saving the life of the police officer and announced the legal proceedings against the officers have already begun. Our correspondent Murtala Isa is on the line with an update. Hello, good afternoon, Murtala.
Good afternoon, Mariam.
How are you? Murtala.
Yeah, hello, Hadia.
What is the latest?
So the delegation from the police in Accra, together with the Northern Regional Minister and the Mayor of Tamale, have just arrived at the house of the deceased in a suburb of Lamashegu to commiserate with them. But a while ago, we were at the Lamashegu Chief Palace, where the Deputy IGP, Tete Yohanu, apologized on behalf of the IGP and the police service for the misconduct of police personnel on Sunday that triggered the clashes that led to the death of this young man.
So, how was the reaction of the chief?
The chief was glad that at least the police have admitted that their men did not conduct themselves. He says that is an assurance that they are not going to shield anyone. He also extended his plea to the IGP and the stakeholders to be mindful of the recruitment process and ensure that they recruit the right people who are able to conduct themselves properly. He emphasized that protocol enlistment should be discouraged to ensure that qualified people are put into the police service.
Murtala, earlier on, a police officer was arraigned before court for insulting the chief and people of Lamishegu. What has been the outcome?
So we have 2 people who were arraigned today before court in connection with the development in Lamashegu. The first person is this police officer who goes by the name on social media, Money. And he insulted the chief. He allegedly insulted the chiefs and people of Lamashegu and was arraigned before court today, charged with offensive conduct. That is in breach of the peace of the metropolis. Now, he has been granted bail to the tune of 5,000 cedis, and and 2 sureties. He is to reappear on the 28th of this month. The second person is the officer who shot into the Toyota Camry that triggered the clash between the police and the residents of Lamashegu that led to the death. And he has been charged with causing harm. And the court remanded him into police custody for further investigation. And he will also be reappearing in court at a later date.
So how peaceful is Lamishegu now?
Everything is calm. When we are in Lamashegu now, you wouldn't realize that there was an incident here a few days back. Things are calm. But the regional minister, together with opinion leaders, chiefs, are continuously impressing upon the youth to remain calm and to have trust in the system that people who misbehave or anyone who is found culpable would be made to face the full rigors of the law.
Okay, thank you so much, Murtala. That was our correspondent, Murtala Isa, with that update on the issue of Lameshigu, where the IGP has sent a delegation to apologize to the chief of Lameshigu. Well, let's go for a breather. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Illegal importation and the local manufacturing of arms have contributed greatly to the proliferation of arms in Ghana. The National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, the institution mandated to prevent, combat and eradicate the illicit trade, is having a hard time controlling the system. Then is the latest of brandishing of arms on social media. The recent Nima Mamobi clash further ignited the discourse on the possession of arms by ordinary citizens. Joining us on the phone with more insights on the protocols on arms possession and why we are where we are now as a country is Adib Sani, a foreign policy and security analyst, to tell us more. Good afternoon, Adib.
Good afternoon.
Does the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons have a grip firm on that sector?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. And on this occasion, I'll speak not just as a security analyst, but as a member of, as an executive council member of the coalition of NGOs against the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. Sadly, I don't think that the Small Arms Commission has the capacity based on a very simple analogy. The thing is, it is an advisory body that is actually supposed to be a regulator. If you're an advisory body, not much you can do to be able to effectively deal with the issue of proliferation of small arms and light weapons. As a result, it is sad to note that it will be difficult, or it might be disingenuous to our viewers if I say, yes, indeed, the Small Arms Commission has a grip until we make it a regulator.
So, Adib, can you tell us the procedure of possession arms in Ghana?
Well, I mean, before you possess a gun, you are supposed to write to the Ministry of Interior to import or to buy the arm. It goes through a process, including the police who will do a background check on you to ensure that, yes, indeed, you are an adult, you are of sane mind, you don't have any criminal background. They do a lot of digging. Then after that, the police would propose to or recommend to the Ministry of Interior that indeed you can have the gun. Then Interior Ministry would give you what we call the permit, okay, to buy the gun. But it doesn't mean you can just go anywhere and buy the gun. You would have to go to a registered arms dealer, and they have warehouses all over the place. And when you buy that gun, that permit is supposed to last only 6 months. After it, you would have to reapply. But if you buy the gun, it doesn't mean the permit allows you to keep it. You would have to go back to the police and get a license which usually is supposed to be renewed at the end of every year. So even if you have the license on the 29th of December, on the 1st of January, you are supposed to renew it because the police calendar ends on the 31st of December each year. And every year it has to be renewed. Unfortunately, there are a lot of guns in the system, numbering about 1.3 million, which are licensed. However, the licenses are not regularly renewed. According to the Small Arms Commission, as at the close of 2020, out of the 1.3 million guns licenses, only about 45,000 persons renewed their licenses. So it is really a major problem, coupled with those that have never been licensed in the first place.
The illegality of gun manufacturing makes it very difficult for authorities to check on the entrance and of ammunition into the country. Is there a regulation and monitoring mechanism of sort in place?
Well, the thing is, according to the Ministry of Interior, the guns retrieved at crime scenes, about 90% of them are locally manufactured. And that seems to be an area we stand a blind eye to. We have a fledgling local gun manufacturing industry in Ghana, especially if you go to areas such as Alavanyo, Konya, Kumasi, Boku, and other parts of the country. These are usually metal fabricators or welders who have shops, but they have an inner part where they produce these weapons. About some few months ago, there was an arrest of some individuals in Kumasi producing these weapons. And the worrying part of it is that they have gone beyond the production of handguns, the ones we call pistols, like the Berettas, the Smith & Wessons, the Sixer, the Glocks, to the production of assault rifles like the AK-47s, the G3s, the AR-15s, the M16s, etc., which I must say is worrying and we don't seem to be paying attention to. Secondly, because of the porous nature of our borders, okay, a lot of these weapons are able to come into these countries through unapproved routes, okay, and that also is a bit of a worry and poses an existential threat to the security of the state. Mostly, these criminals feel they have more firepower than even the police. It emboldens them. It makes them have the nerve to stop people in traffic and rob them. It makes them have the nerve to even attack police officers in broad daylight and attack police stations. So until we put the right structures in place, which would include enhancing institutional capacity, education, improved intelligence, improved border security, we still have serious issues with the proliferation of arms. And we have lessons to learn from other jurisdictions. For example, in the U.S., because of Second Amendment, right to own guns, every single year, about 40,000 Americans die as a result of gun-inflicted wounds. How many 9/11s is that? And in Brazil, it's almost the same. So it is really worrying. We cannot afford to do that line. And so there's a need for stakeholders to rise up to the occasion so together we can put the right structures in place to control the illicit guns that are in the system.
A good day. That was our Deep Sani security analyst on the protocols of possessing arms in Ghana. Now back to our earlier story. The Labour Division of the Accra High Court on Tuesday, February 15th, 2022, ordered the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, to call off their strike. The order follows an application for interlocutory injunction moved by the National Labour Commission, NLC, to compel the striking union to go back to work pending determination of the substantive matter, which has to do with enforcement of the NLC directive to UTAG to call off the 5-week-old strike. We are joined on the line by Dr. Samuel Nkumban, President of the University of Ghana, chapter of UTAG. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon and good afternoon, sir.
Your lawyer, Kwesi Kelly Delata, said the association legal team will study the ruling and advise their clients whether to call off the strike or not. What is the latest development, sir?
I must indicate that our expectation has been to receive a certified copy of the orders drawn from the ruling yesterday. And that would be the basis upon which the legal team can advise us. Of course, we were all in court. We cannot pretend to have understood the details of the transaction by way of the legal language and all that transpired. So the expectation is that we would get this certified order which details what it is that the court has ordered, what it is that the responsibility is on UTAC to do or not to do within the period of injunction, which is my understanding that is over the next 7 days. And so once we get that, then of course we would have to look at what is legally possible also, in order that we do not go on the wrong side of the law by way of abiding by the directive of the court.
So, per the directive of the court, when are we going to see effective teaching on all campuses?
Well, that is, like I'm saying, if we do get this certified directive or order, which is supposed to be drawn from the ruling yesterday, that will be the basis upon which our lawyers can advise on our next course of action. So between now and Monday, we would make a determination which would be made public also based on the receipt of these orders.
So if all goes well and your lawyers advise you to go back to work, are we going to see effective teachings from the lecturers?
Well, of course, as a law-abiding association, if that is what our legal team would advise, we would revert to our members and to explain to them the circumstances and also to look at options in ensuring that we get what it is that we are demanding of our employer. And so let's get to that bridge, because we are yet to get to the bridge at which our lawyers advise on our next course of action to resume or that there may be legal options for us to pursue, leading to ensuring that we get government attend to our needs.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nkumban. Have a good day.
Thank you.
An Accra Circuit Court has granted the Bono Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Mr. Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronya DC, a bail sum of 100,000 Ghana cedis with 2 sureties. As part of the bail conditions, the sureties are to deposit their passports and valid ID cards at the court registry. He is to reappear before the court on March 9, 2022. Abronya is said to have made allegations in a radio interview with Accra-based Hot FM during a political talk show, Dwene Uhubiu, that former President John Mahama was involved in a coup plot. He is said to have claimed that former President John Mahama had met with the Al-Qaeda militants in an attempt to stage a coup in Ghana. In court on Wednesday, he was accompanied by some leading members of the NPP, including National Chairman Freddie Blay, the General Secretary, Mr. John Boedu, and the National Youth Organizer, Mr. Henry Nana Boachi.
He was even supposed to be there by 4 p.m. As law-abiding as he is, he appeared before the Regional Police Command 2 hours before the stated time. The police took his statement and subsequently arrested him and charged him for 2 offenses. The first was publication of false news, and the second was offensive conduct. Today we came here to Circuit Court 8, and our lawyer Namon, made an application to the court for bail.
Nigeria remains an important trading and investment partner to Ghana, being the two largest economies in West Africa. The reciprocal relationship extends to every sector, with fierce rivalry in sports. So are the two affected by common issues bordering on security, employment, cattle grazing and herdsmen, climate change, intra-trading and a hike in fuel prices, among others. Visiting Ghana is a Nigerian broadcast journalist with the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Mrs. Adebola Oluwale Dada, to share some happenings in her home country. Hello, welcome, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good.
So I trust you're enjoying yourself.
I'm enjoying
What can you say about Ghana? Ghana jollof?
Ghana jollof, yes. Washe, that's nice. Well, the reception of people, especially right from the airport to the hotel to the restaurant, everything is cool. And one thing I can observe is that everyone that I have met is quite, patient. People are patient.
That's a credit. So then back to Nigeria. How is Nigeria coping with militant attacks?
Yeah, Nigeria is really coping. Of course, a lot of people are overhyping what is happening, but I tell you, we are really getting on top of it. The Nigerian government is really arresting the situation, going to Sambisa Forest, going into the interior parts of the areas where there had been attacks. And I tell you, people have been settling back into their bases in Nigeria.
The use of gen set, it's a daily affair.
Yeah, it is.
But then Nigeria is the greatest, is the largest producer of oil in West Africa. So how are you coping with oil issues here and there?
Yeah, recently it was discovered that Nigeria imported some adulterated fuel into the country, and immediately it was observed. NNPC had to curb it, and that was what caused the fuel scarcity. And I tell you, Nigerians have been so patient with the government. They've been so patient with one another. Queuing up at the fuel stations are there, but they are really, really, trying to get over it. In no time, we will get over it, because by the fourth quarter of 2022, Dangote refineries will be open, and we would not have any reason to import fuel anymore in Nigeria.
Right. You've been in town for quite some days now, and you've gone round. You can attest that we have issues handling plastic waste. Is it the same in Nigeria?
Yeah, it is the same in Nigeria, but like you said, we are sisters, we are brothers, Ghanaians and Nigerians. I don't think there is a way we can separate the two of us anymore, because we have come into each other. Plastic waste in Nigeria is also like what we are facing in Ghana here, but I think it is a corporate responsibility of everyone in Ghana and in Nigeria to know how to use what you are using. Good disposal, use of paper instead of nylons, cellophanes, or plastics will go a long way in helping us to curb this plastic pollution. Also, children in school, when we give them, packs, snacks, let's teach them to dispose of them very well in, the appropriate bins.
So let's back to the issue of freedom of the media. According to a 2020 World Press Freedom Index report by Reporters Without Borders, Nigeria is one of the West Africa's most dangerous and difficult countries for journalists, who are often spied on and attacked. Quality of journalism is undermined by repressive government actions. Tell us the current situation.
Well, I am a journalist. Yeah. And I don't think anyone has harassed me, so to speak. I am not saying journalists are not being harassed. We are being harassed, but it depends on what you say. If you are on the right path, I don't think there is a reason for you to be attacked. Yeah, there is no reason for you to be attacked if you are on the right path, if you are saying the truth, if you are objective. But, there are some people that are political journalists. They are hungry journalists. When they see, they say. Why not let us, drop hate speech that incites genocide, like we always say in Nigeria. Let's stop hate speech, which incites genocide. If the journalists can try as much as possible to do their best to report, objectively, there wouldn't be attacks on them. Journalists are right people, they speak the truth. So I think we still need that freedom.
That's true. Back to soccer. Your take on the upcoming Ghana-Nigerian World Cup qualifiers.
You mean Nigeria-Ghana?
Ghana, Nigeria. Ghana, Nigeria.
Yeah. Nigeria losing to Tunisia was a little shaky. It made us feel somehow, it got us unhappy. But I tell you, it is going to be a compensation when we have Nigeria, Ghana, Ghana, Nigeria qualifying matches. I tell you, we need to pull down. Do I say we need to pull down? We have to win the tournament so that we can qualify for that tournament. So we hope to see you. I hope to see you. You hope to see me.
And I hope to win.
We hope to win too.
It was nice talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your stay in Ghana. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so
That
much.
was a colleague, Mrs. Oluwale Dada from NTA, and with that update with happenings in Nigeria. Reducing the impact of drought and floods in the Volta Basin is the thrust of a national workshop underway in Accra. Participants were drawn from the Water Resources Commission and other players within the water management system in the country.
As part of its core mandate, the Water Resource Commission is responsible for ensuring that water bodies are kept in a good state for proper consumption. In view of this, the Commission, in partnership with other stakeholders, have joined hands to mitigate the effects of climate change, including drought and flood in the Volta Basin. The Volta Basin consists of the Volta River and its tributaries and sub-tributaries, which extends about 400,000 kilometers square and shared by Benin, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Mali, and Togo. The Executive Director of the Volta Basin Authority, Mr. Ben Ampoma, gave a general overview of the workshop.
We want to build capacity in terms of nature-based solutions and then move on to develop bankable projects that we can sell to the private sector, the financial institutions, with a view to ensure that we can restore the lost water resources and ecosystems that we have. We want to focus on the Volta Basin, which I should say that contributes 70% of the water resources that we enjoy in this country.
The workshop will address global challenges such as climate change, risk management, health, access to water, and food security.
Ghana's survival rate from childhood cancers, according to the World Child Cancer Organization, is less than 40%. This was attributed to the inadequate stock of medicines and the capacity for cure. Meanwhile, over 60% of childhood cancer cases in Ghana are set to go undetected due to the absence of accurate diagnosis. As the world marks International Childhood Cancer Day, the WHO is seeking to eliminate pain and suffering, as well as achieve at least 60% survival rate for children diagnosed of cancer. A report by Sarah Fori.
World Health Organization believes every child and adolescent with cancer deserves the best medical and psychological care, regardless of their country of origin, race, financial status, or social class. With timely and accurate diagnosis and intervention, no child need not die of childhood cancers. As part of its mission to improve diagnostics and ensure equal access to treatment, the World Child Cancer Organization has over the years sponsored specialist training in pediatric oncology, paid for the cost of treatments, supported families to cope, and made a case for more investments into childhood cancers. Despite all efforts to increase access to medication and services, the survival rate for childhood cancers is less than 40% in Ghana. At the launch of this year's International Childhood Cancer Day, the regional coordinator, Sub-Saharan Africa, of the World Child Cancer Organization, Mr. Ayire Adongo, attributed the low levels of survival to the high numbers of undetected cases. The Deputy Minister for Health, Madam Tina Mensah, said children with childhood cancers deserve better care as those of any other illness.
Many experts in childhood cancer management believe that factors such as lack of information about early signs and symptoms of childhood cancer, late diagnosis, misdiagnosis, absence or weak referral system, difficult access to care and treatment, high cost of treatment and medicines, inadequate specialists or health staff to care for these children, and discontinuance of treatment by some parents as a result of various cultural or religious beliefs have accounted for this inequity.
She further disclosed government's commitment at improving oncology care in the country under its universal health coverage mandate. The theme for this year's celebration is Better Survival is Achievable. Cyril for GBC News, Accra.
Investment experts are advising Ghanaians to use life insurance as part of a plan to build wealth fast. The various speakers at the University of Ghana Business School Alumni Association public lecture were of the view that with a good policy, it is possible to save the future, invest money in goal-oriented instruments, and protect their families from financial uncertainty.
It is possible to build wealth from nothing. The experts say the first step is to understand how to build wealth and how to protect against any eventuality. Insurance is a process to protect the interest of people from loss and uncertainty. Some describe it as a social device to reduce or eliminate risk of loss to life and property. To industry players, insurance provides financial support and reduces uncertainties in business and human life while providing a safety and security against a particular event. An insurance policy provides a cover against any sudden loss. However, most Africans do not use insurance policies to create wealth. The Chocolate Day public lecture by the Alumni Association of the University of Ghana Business School was to enlighten the public on how to use insurance to generate wealth.
In the process of creating wealth, there are many risks. And if you really are concerned about protecting the wealth that you create, the best way you want to do that is to make sure that there's some protection for you, so that when the unexpected happens, you are able to have something to rely on to recoup your business or to recover your business or to get back into business.
The Deputy Commissioner of Insurance of the National Insurance Commission, Mr. Michael Andor, said insurance is wealth and must be treated as such. A lead financial services strategy and customer solutions manager at KPMG, Mr. Robert Jato, said insurance is a means of investment and Ghanaians must look to it as a sustainable source of income.
I generally also think that we need to really deepen education. Now, there's a perception out there that, it's easy to sell insurance or easy to buy an insurance policy. But when it comes to making claims, the experience is not great, and therefore people don't see the value. The other side is really maybe a bit more intriguing, which is that people have policies that families don't know, and therefore they really don't get the benefits in the event that something happens.
The lecture was questioned insurance, an integral part of household wealth and management.
You're watching News Hour.
You're watching the business news with me, Esther Edu Ohumewu. Earnings from Ghana's honey exports in 2019 was below $3,000. To scale up production and ensure that honey from Ghana meets standards of the international market, the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research, Food Research Institute, has launched the Make Ghana's Honey Fit for Export project in Accra. In value terms, the largest markets for honey exported from Ghana in 2019 were the United States, amounting to $1,100, Canada at $1,000, and the UK at $247. These three countries together accounted for 49% of total honey exports from Ghana. To increase Ghana's honey exports to other markets across the globe, the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research, Food Research Institute, has launched the Make Ghana's Honey Fit for Export project in Accra. The acting director of the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research, Food Research Institute, Professor Charles Toto, said the project is to enable the country achieve $1 trillion sector in 2030 as projected by the World Bank.
We have quality challenges on our honey that we export and even use locally. So this project is to support us with the training of our honey keepers, the training of our packers, and then the value addition on honey.
The project coordinator, Dr. Courage Bessa Adamu, indicated that the project is to ensure that honey produced from Ghana meets the standards of shelves on the international market. The chief executive of the Chamber of Agribusiness, Mr. Anthony Morrison, said the national honey production and investment policy will soon be launched to regulate the operations of honey producers and their honey exports.
We should be able to properly have an industry that is fully backed by a policy. We are looking at how to position the Ghana's honey market for export. We are doing quite a number of volume, but nowhere near what we should be able to do.
The chairman of the Beekeepers Association, Patrick Ado-Newman, said the Make Ghana's Honey Fit for Export project would go a long way to educate honey producers on the kinds of honey to be produced and for which markets they can be exported. A new board is in place for the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. Aviation Minister Mr. Kweku Ofori-Esiama charged the 9-member board chaired by Captain Paul Spencer to make good corporate governance, accountability, efficiency and transparency in service delivery their watchword to consolidate the gains made post-COVID-19. It is the duty of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority to regulate Ghana's air transport industry, among other responsibilities. The authority is picking up from its lost gains post-COVID-19, which put a temporary hold on air travel and downward economic projections with job losses and poor managerial policies. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority is hopeful that the new board will improve on stringent measures to leave no stone unturned. At the board's inauguration in Accra, the chairman of the 9-member board, Captain Paul Spencer, was optimistic that his team will work hard to strengthen policy direction of the authority towards the goal of making Ghana an aviation hub achievable.
The board will seek to establish spirit decor among staff and management of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority for smooth management of affairs. As a board, we shall ensure that a conducive environment is established to leverage the years of experience of our esteemed members.
The 9-member team has chairman, Captain Paul Spencer, Air Commodore Esrifi, Madam Mabel Sego, Mr. Akwesi Owusu-Ansah, Madam Joyce Opoku-Boateng, Mr. Ofori Kofi Newman, Mr. Alfred Obeng, Madam Cecilia Kofi, and Mr. Charles Kreku, an engineer. Be proactive and engage labor even when there is no unrest to know their needs. This was the advice given to the 7-member board of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission when they were being inaugurated by the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations, Mr. Ignatius Bafwewa, in Accra.
The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has the mandate to implement the single spine pay policy, salaries, wages, grading and classification of the payroll, Currently, there are a number of challenges facing labor, with the UTAG issues taking a center stage. Inaugurating the 7-member board, chaired by Mr. Michael Wusu-Nimako in Accra, the Minister for Employment and Labor Relations, Mr. Ignatius Bafwewa, called for the constant communication between labor and the Commission and solve labor challenges before they escalate.
Fair Wages and Salaries Commission that you are going to manage. The challenges of yesteryears are far different from the challenges of tomorrow, today and tomorrow. Because even at the early stages of our second mandate, we are seeing signs of turbulence on the labor front. And usually it has to do with one form of condition of service or the other. They are so interrelated that if you are handling them and you are not very careful, you might think that, oh, I'm dealing with the particular union, before you realize it has escalated to some other union.
The board chairman, Mr. Michael Wusu-Nimako, pledged the board's commitment to be hands-on in dealing with issues involving labor unrest.
So I want to assure you that, first, I'm honored to be made the chairman, and I'm also giving you my word that I'm prepared to steer the ship.
The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, FWSC, has over the years advocated the setting up of an independent emoluments commission to streamline salary administration in the country. This, the commission believes, would help solve challenges facing organized labor.
Let's have the interbank and commodity figures for the day. There is more news after the break. Thanks for watching. Let's now move over to Ashanti region, where a Deborah of Queen Mothers, chiefs and people of Asante-Man is underway at the Menchia Palace to climax the commemoration of the 5th anniversary of the installment of Nana Kunedu Yadom III. Among the large crowd of local and foreign dignitaries, as well as wishes to grace the event, is Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Our Ashanti regional correspondent Nicholas Osewusu is at the Menchia Palace and join us with an update. Hello, good afternoon, Nicholas.
Hello.
Hello, Nicholas. What can you tell us? What is the latest?
Okay, we've gotten to a point where the exchange of countries and gifts from well wishers from across Ghana and some from even outside the country who have come to pay homage to the Asante and the Asante. That is exactly where we are getting to. We are going to listen to the dignitaries and deliver goodwill messages to the Asante as to get into the Asante. So that is it. But now we have Vice President at the head of that group of gates. That also includes the chief of staff, Madam Amusa Pima, the first lady, the social secretary, the second lady on the right of the vice president, Adja Baumia, also around. We also have some political party representatives, and then the clergy are also here in their office. So quite a number. So today is the second of particularly the grand member of Prince of Asante. The emphasis has been taken away from the chief and the number of people who should be riding the palanquins and then taking the shine out of every situation here. But today they are lying very low. In fact, most of the situations, they are not really coming at all. Giving the women or the things the opportunity to also charge for today, the special day for not only their vaccine, but for the same others as well. And it is also a day we are celebrating womanhood, but women are being adored and I mean, all good things are being said about womanhood just because of the Asante. So that is the situation here at the Provincial Palliative.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. That was our Ashanti region correspondent, Nicholas Iseusu, with an update on the celebration of Nana Iyadom. Okay. The transition of Ghana and Guyana to the status of developed economies will largely depend on adding value to their hydrocarbon resources, says President Akufo-Addo at the first International Energy Conference and Expo in Georgetown, the capital of Guyana. President Akufo-Addo told the gathering that a major challenge confronting Ghana is how to develop the oil and gas industry with optimal local content and participation, hence the passage of the local content law.
Accra kicked off commercial oil production in 2010, while Georgetown joined the elite club in 2019. The new kid on the block, Guyana, proudly has approximately 9 billion barrels of oil, which is 3 times higher than that of Ghana. But with the determination not to toe the path of countries unable to make judicious use of their oil resources, Accra and Georgetown have resolved to share the experience and improve the lot of their citizens. At the Maiden International Energy Conference and Expo in Georgetown, attended by President Akufo-Addo and his peers from Guyana, Suriname and Prime Minister of Barbados, Ghana was touted as a model case in Africa in the management of oil and gas resources.
In charting this transition, we must recognize that others have gone before us and had profited from the earned revenues to develop a modern economy and create a future path of economic development where oil and gas may not play such a significant role anymore. These fortunate countries have saved a major part of their revenues to be able to provide for generations to come. We have the same goal and commitment to our current and certainly our future generations. No doubt, we must be responsible in our approach and certainly develop our oil and gas resources in an environmentally friendly and sound manner.
For President Akufo-Addo, to ensure that Ghanaians become active players in the oil and gas industry, a local content law was passed in 2010.
We resolved soon after our oil discovery to improve the legal, regulatory, and institutional framework for the efficient management of our oil and gas industry. To demonstrate further our commitment to ensuring transparency and accountability, Ghana set up a Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, to deal with challenges relating to transparency and accountability with respect to the use of petroleum revenues. Ghana has also signed up to the Extractive Industry Transparent Initiatives in relation to oil and gas, which requires that we publish revenues from petroleum resources and agree to use these resources efficiently for the benefit of our people.
with some resources endowed nations in Africa failing to achieve sustainable development from the exploitation of their natural resources, President Akufo-Addo says Ghana has implemented a number of policies and initiatives to change the narrative. These policies, he explained, are focused on ensuring the sustainable growth of the sector through legislative development, employment creation, protection of the environment, revenue and cost management, transparency, diversification of the economy, capacity building, and local content development. Edward Nyakum, reporting for GBC News.